Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a Chikara set of Chikara reviews. Actually, I have to say Chikara is really growing on me. I haven't been that high on it in the past, but they've been turning out some great shows. 2009 was definitely probably their breakout year. Uh, I just think it's a breath of fresh air. I think the company is very fun. It's kind of like an escape. You can't really say that about every ROH show, and it's very different. It's just a breath of fresh air. Like I said, it's just a very very fun promotion, and I'm really starting to like it. So the first show I'll talk about is Young Lions Cup 7 Night 3. This is actually one of the 411 Mania actually said this is one of the best independent wrestling shows of the year. And YouTube really slept on this show. You haven't heard anything about it on YouTube, but it's a very, very good show. The opener was the SeaDonsters and Cloudy versus Yellow Dog, Player Uno, and Dasher Hatfield. Very, very fun opener. All these guys, they just made a great combination. Just very, very fun stuff. Roughnecks versus the North Star Express was actually pretty good. North Star Express, young tag team, really impressed me. F.I.S.T versus the Colony versus Order of Neo Solar Temple versus Chiva and I'm sorry, Chiva V and Halcon Guerrero. This is a four-way elimination tag match, and this is pretty solid. I believe it came down to Delirious is actually part of the Neo Solar Temple. It came down to those guys, and I believe it was Fist. And it was a little bit sloppy. I mean, it could have been better. I mean, if it wasn't for the sloppiness, this would have been a lot better. Next up, we had Pierrothito versus Mascarita Dorado. This is an excellent match. You've probably seen this on the what do you call it? The Chikara podcast. They showed highlights of this. This is really really fun stuff. This is like lucha libre at its finest here. I mean, yeah, I mean, no one would take these two wrestlers seriously, but this is just very very fun stuff here. Just a lot of great lucha chain wrestling here. Some crazy crazy spots. So definitely check it out. Next up, we had Turbo and Frightmare. Frightmare, I believe he was the rookie of the year. A lot of people were saying Frightmare was one of the best rookies from last year. They took on Mike Quackenbush and Jorge Rivera. Jorge Rivera is all right. I mean, he can't really do much, but Quackenbush looked great out there. This guy Turbo pulled off some sick stuff. This flowed really nicely, actually. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli. This is the second match in their best of three series. This is pretty much done to set up their next match at the Three Fisted Tail show. So that was a pretty good match. Those two guys have really good chemistry. I was really impressed with all their matches this year. Next up, we had the Unstable and Chuck Taylor versus the Future Is Now of Jigsaw, Equinox, and Helios versus Fire and Arik Canning and Hallo Wicked. Definitely the match of the night. You probably saw highlights of this on the podcast. Tremendous action. I mean, this is just non-stop action. A lot of spots in this match. Just really, really good stuff from all these guys. And the finals of the Young Lions Cup, we had Colin Delaney actually versus Player Dose. Colin Delaney played a great heel. He dictated the tempo of the whole match. And Player Dose played a great babyface. Like a classic babyface versus heel match. Two young guys going at it. The ending was very good, and that's Young Lions Cup 7 Night 3. All right. All right. Next show is Three Fisted Tales. This was actually the last Chikara show of 2009. Now, this is a very solid show. There was nothing amazing up until the double main event. Everything was just pretty fun. It was pretty solid, but just nothing was like spectacular. We had probably the highlight of the undercard was I don't know. I guess it was Order of Neo Solar Temple versus Incoherence. I thought that was a pretty good tag match. Lindsay Dorado versus Player Dose. This match had a crazy spot in it, like a must-see spot. The match is pretty good. It wasn't amazing. It didn't go too long. See, a lot of these matches didn't get a lot of time. Fist versus Matt Quackenbush and Jorge Rivera. I thought Jorge, the other match I saw him in, he really did not hurt it, but he kind of hurt this match a little bit. But this is still a pretty solid match. Then we had the match that everyone was raving about. One of the best matches of the year. Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston, the final match, the respect match. This is very good stuff. It went 15 minutes, had a lot of intensity, a lot of great spots. I just think it could have went a little bit longer, maybe. If Claudio got, I'm sorry, Eddie Kingston. If Eddie Kingston got some more offense in uh, towards the end, I thought it would have been even better. But yeah, this is excellent for the amount of time that it got. So definitely check it out. It is a must see match. The main event was the Osirian Portal versus the Colony. I really enjoyed this. This was a lot better than their other matches. This was 2 out of 3 falls for the championships, and it was really good. It went a little bit long, but like I said, this flowed a lot better than the other matches that they've had. So definitely check this out. It had a great aftermath. Claudio turned heel, and Sarah Del Rey, Daisy Hayes came out, and Carpenter Ant revealed that he was how we learned the inverted Chikara special. As you know, he used that at the Cybernetico Incredible match, and no one knew how he learned it, but he actually was Tim Donst actually showed him how to do it, and all those guys are part of the same stable now. I know it's kind of tough to follow, but that's pretty much what it was. They joined these 2 guys that came out with white masks. I forget the name of that, what the stable is actually called. It's just not coming to me right now. But yeah, like I said, the ending and the aftermath was really well done. Featured a lot of heel turns, and it definitely sets up the next show pretty nicely. So all right, next up we had Chikara's A Touch of Class. This is the very first show from 2010. It's getting pretty good reviews. Now, The Miz is crazy about the show. I'm not as high on it as he is, but I can understand his rating. All right, so we had an awesome promo from Pinky Sanchez. Pinky Sanchez is formerly Carpenter Ant, you know, the guy that won the Cybernetico, and he turned and joined the Bruderschaft, the BDK. That's the name of the stable, and he joined them on the previous show. So yeah, he just cut a great promo, and then he had a great opening match with Green Ant. And this had an awesome finish. It was a very good opening match. Just, you're exactly the way you should open the show. I really enjoyed it. Um, then we had Daisy Hayes and Sarah Del Rey. You know, they're part of the Brutus Shaft as well, and they're teaming up to face the Osirian Portal. They pretty much embarrassed the Osirian Portal. I mean, this kind of lowers their credibility, because they lost to Sarah and Daisy, but they kind of squashed them. But Sarah and Daisy Hayes look very good here. I'm glad that they're getting a shot in Chikara, because ROH is not really doing much with the women right now. So, all right, Brodie Lee and Hallo Wicked, a little bit overrated, so far. But yeah, I'll give him credit though. Brodie Lee looked pretty good here. It wasn't boring at all. It was very, very solid stuff. A lot better than you would expect. All right, so next up we had Tim Donst cut a great promo. Tim Donst is actually the one that taught Carpenter and the Chikara special. And he's part of the Brutus Shaft as well. So he had a match against Player Dose for the Young Lions Cup, and this is pretty good. The promo before the match was good, and this had very good drama. It felt like a big time match. Player Dose is actually, I just read he was voted the MVP of Chikara for 2009. So and I totally agree with that. He's a phenomenal athlete. So him and Tim Donst had a great match. Tim Donst played a great heel, and I thought the finish was very dramatic. All right, next up we had The Future Is Now. This was Lindsay Dorado and Equinox, Jigsaw, and Mike Quackenbush teaming up to face the BDK, the Brutus Shaft, with Claudio Castagnoli and the rest of the guys from the Brutus Shaft. This is an insane tag match. All right, as soon as the match started, Lindsay Dorado changed sides and joined the Brutus Shaft. It was very unexpected. It's like it happened right away. So it was pretty crazy. Then eventually Claudio and Eddie Kingston actually came out to help Quackenbush and everyone else. And so it just got really, really intense. It was a great brawl between the two factions. It was pretty spotty and very dramatic. And it puts over the Brutus Shaft in a big way. So, yeah, I thought that was really good. Now, the main event, you had F.I.S.T versus the Colony. We've seen these guys have matches before. This time we got Gran Akuma and Icarus teaming up to face Fire Ant and Soldier Ant. This is all right. 2 out of 3 falls for every, Campeones de Parejas match. It's a little bit too much, but... It was a little bit long, but very, very well executed. I mean, not on the same level as the hair versus hair match, but still very solid stuff. I think it's a little bit overrated, but these two guys, they just did their thing. A great near falls, great athleticism, great action, just a pretty fun match. So yeah, Touch of Class. I mean, it's a great show with promos, great, great storyline build up for the next show. I mean, But as far as the wrestling goes, there's nothing amazing on this show. There's not that one match that I would consider a match of the year type of candidate. But, it is a pretty fun show. All right, so that's pretty much it.